Welcome back to the First Line Library. I'm Jordan, and today I have my book haul for the month of May. Let's get into it. Well, hey, welcome back, guys. I'm so glad you're here. Before I jump into this book haul video, I do want to preface a little bit. I talked about in my last video unhauling books and the importance of not overindulging in book buying. I do have about 20 books here that I picked up in the month of May. However, I did sell about 65 to 70 books over the last few months, so I have a lot of in-store credit, a lot of Pango bucks that I use to get books. I also had some gift cards for Amazon. So with that being said, let's jump into my May book haul. All right, so starting off, I have my stack from Half Price Books. This was over a few different trips to Half Price over the month. Starting off with The Winter Room by Gary Paulson. Great chapter book here. I haven't read this one, but I do love Gary Paulson. His Hatchet series is probably one of my favorite series. So I picked this up for like 75 cents. Couldn't pass that up. Next, I am really happy that I found, this is Gardens of the Moon. And this is the first Tor Mass Market edition. I've been trying to find this copy for a while, and it's actually in pretty great shape. No cracks on the spine or anything. So I'm really excited about this. I am really excited to jump into this, hopefully this year, this series. So yeah, great find. $4.50 for this. Everywhere I've been looking, it's been, anywhere from $25 to $35, which is pretty insane. Next, I have The Descent by Jeff Long. This, I don't know too much about. It's a horror book, but horror mystery thriller. I know there's a movie called The Descent. I really enjoy that movie. This book is somewhat related to that, not so much, kind of the main idea of the book they used for the movie. But I'm really excited about this. I think I've heard a lot of good things, so I'm really excited to jump into that. Next is The Wish Song of Shannara. I have a copy of this in hardcover, but this is the first book club edition, and it's in great shape. I paid $2 for it on the clearance shelf. So I couldn't pass that up. I love collecting first editions. As I have the first hardcover edition release, and then I have a book club edition. So next is another first edition. This is The Dark Beyond the Stars. I read the synopsis about this quite a while ago, and I just found it so intriguing. I couldn't find it anywhere. There was a couple of people selling on Pango, but the price just wasn't right. It was a little too expensive for me. And I found this for $5.99 at Half Price Books. And first edition, pretty great condition. So really excited about that one. And the last book I got from Half Price this month is graphic novel Watchmen by Alan Moore and David Gibbons. I have seen the movie a couple times. It's been a long time. I've flipped through this before. Never really sat down to read it all the way through. So I'm really excited to jump into this. I know the movie followed the graphic novel pretty seamlessly. So really excited about this one. All right, so this next stack is my most recent pickup actually, and I found the next 4 books in the Malazan series. All in great condition. It looks like Dead House Gates is the only one that was actually read. I just couldn't pass this up. They were $1.50 each. So I'm really excited to jump into this series. Who knows how long it's going to take me. I have so many series that I've already started, but at least I have the first 5 books now, especially after finding Gardens of the Moon, that first tour edition. I was really excited to find these. So there's those. And then the last one I picked up is Shadow and Claw, the first half of the Book of the New Sun. I don't know a lot about this, but I was talking with Samwise a little bit about it, and he highly recommends this, especially, you love Tolkien, Tolkien's work. So really excited to jump into this, hopefully soon. I know it's a bit of a thinker, but I'm really excited. All right, so now moving to what I picked up from Pango this month. First, I have Hell or High Water by Peter Heller. You know I love Peter Heller if you watch this channel. This is one of his nonfiction books. This was a first edition for a great price. I had a Pango bucks to use up, so I couldn't pass that up. Really, really excited to jump into this survival story by Peter Heller. Next, I have another Peter Heller book. This is The Dog Stars, the first fiction novel he ever wrote, but this was a copy that was sold for World Book Nights in the United States. This was from April 23rd, 2014, and it is in incredible condition. It was only a couple dollars, and I love collecting books, obviously, and I love Peter Heller, so I just couldn't pass this up, having just this cool eclectic copy of The Dog Stars, one of my favorite books. And the last book that I got from Pango is Shadow and Claw, the first half of the Book of the New Sun. Now, this one I picked up first before the other one. And I saw the other one at the thrift store for $2, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick that up just in case somebody needs a copy. I can send it to them. If they want to do a buddy read, we can read this together. So if that's you, if you want a copy of the Book of the New Sun, the first half at least, let me know down in the comments. We can get together and maybe we can do a buddy read this year. So really excited. All right, so these next two books I was really, really excited to pick up. These are two books that I got from Amazon, and I just so happened to have a gift card for the exact dollar amount. So the first one is Discovery by J.A.J. Minton. I am about 40% through this book, and it is just absolutely wild. It is incredibly good. I just don't know what to say about this yet. I think I need to just finish it before I have any thoughts on it, other than it is just wild, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So if you haven't heard of this book, I'm sure you have, because this is the family talking story here on YouTube. But if you haven't, I'll link it down in the description below. You need to pick this book up if you love cosmic horror, thriller, mystery, science fiction. So this was the first Amazon pickup. The next one I was also really excited for. Earlier this year, I was blessed to have an ARC of this from my buddy A.M. Wiley. This is Weird Space 2, Dawn of the Warriors. I really, really, really love this series. There's 2 books out in the series of Weird Space, and yeah, I finally had to pick up my physical copy, and it's just, this cover is just amazing. I know the author's brother is the one who actually designed these covers, so shout out to him. Yeah, this series is incredible. It's great for all ages. If you like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Stranger Things, The Goonies, this is what you want to pick up. All right, so for this next stack of 4 books, each one of these books was purchased from a different place. So I'll start with A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Now, I do have a few different copies of this book, but I found this at my local Walmart, and I just love this cover so much. I love collecting books, especially different editions of books, and, you know, it was like 10% off, so I only paid, you know, like $7 for it, so couldn't pass that up, Game of Thrones. This next one I picked up from an antique store. This is a collector's edition of In Our Time by Ernest Hemingway. Now, this is a short story collection of his. I reviewed this book earlier this year. There are some really, really good short stories, like 5-star short stories, and there's a few like 2-star short stories in this collection. So it was really hard to review and rate this book as a whole, but I saw this, there was no price on it, so I took it to the front counter and I asked the guy, like, what would you give this to me for? And he said $2. I was like, all right, I could not pass that up, especially with how, you know, good of condition it is. It's got this great pastel, or I think like oil painting in covers here. It's just really nice edition from 1998, I believe, from Tracy Yates and Jeff Thomas. So I just couldn't pass that up for $2. Ernest Hemingway. All right, so this next book I have here is A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. I am currently making my way through the Faithful and the Fallen series, and I have now this and the first in his Bloodsworn saga, and I hope to get all of his books and read all three of the trilogies because John Gwynne is rising to the top of the ranks as one of my favorite authors. He's just so good at writing characters, and I love the world building. So, Time of Dread by John Gwynne. All right, now this last one, this is a new release. This is Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This one I've had my eye on since it was announced last year, and I finally pulled the trigger and I picked up a new hardcover edition of this. Now, I only paid about 55% of what the full cost was because I took a bunch of books that I unhauled and got a lot of in-store credit. So I only paid about 55%. And I am so excited to have this book. I am really want to jump into this as soon as possible. I've heard really great things, especially if you love historical fiction with a little bit of horror and thriller in it. So there you have it. All right, so that's going to wrap up my book haul for the month of May. Let me know if you guys picked up anything. Also, did you unhaul anything? Let me know down in the comments. Also, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this video out to your friends. I'd love to connect with more book people, talk more about books. So, all right, take care. God bless.